In the beginning, the great God, she slept. In a moment, a flash, a movement, God, the Father, was born, and instantly recognizing it, and instantly loving it, the birth of love. Is a moment for every man, every human being, to recognize love within themselves, and holding that moment for the rest of your life. There are many questions. All questions are answered when love is recognized. There is no question as to what to do when one loves. There is no question as to how to solve this problem or that problem or the other problem when love is in one's heart. How do I treat this person? How do I treat that person? How do I treat the other person? It is not a question when love is in one's heart. All questions are answered, but for these questions to be answered, one must come to humility, the absence of egoism. Love is there. Love is always there. It is always there. It is a simple matter of focusing on love, allowing all other things, all division within oneself to fall away. It is an illusion that love is not home. It is there. It is home. It will forever be home. Love is a part of being. Love is a part of this universe. It is what makes this universe what it is. Love. It is simple. It is absolutely simple. We focus on the problems rather than the solutions. The solution is love. It is simple. Then there is no bickering between me and thee. There is no hostility between me and thee. Love is here. Absolute love. With it comes the answer to all questions. To all questions. Love is simply felt. It is not rationalized. It doesn't have to be thought about. It simply is. As in the moment in the recognition of the Father God by the Mother God. The key is recognition, and instantly love happens. It just is. It just is. We think far, far too much. We rationalize far, far too much. We cannot rationalize love. We can only love. We cannot think about love. We can only love. We celebrate the birth of love. It has been misunderstood, but it is the celebration of love. This celebration must go on 365 days per year. The celebration must go on every moment, every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every year. We like to do it at special times. Cannot be done. It is like a championship football team. who believes they can turn it on at any time they want. They can turn on their doing, and they find a very serious lesson. They cannot. It must be practiced daily. You must be on daily. You must be in love daily. Love, in its absolute simplicity, is just there because we come out of our heads and into our hearts. What to do, what to say to a child is simple. When you look into the child's eyes and you remember your being a child and the great compassion rises within you, you know what to say. You know what to do. With a friend, you know what to say. You know what to do. With all of life, you know what to say. You know what to do. One must love the whole. One must love life. Not just life in the body, but life, period. Because life is forever. Life is nothing more than consciousness knowing that you are. Knowing that you are. The time will come when all will pass from the body, or all will pass from the view of this being, this existence in flesh. But you will still be, it will still be. And as it is, it will be in love. It cannot be without the ever-flowing energy of love. Without love, this universe would be absolutely chaotic. And it is not. It is absolutely ordered. It is ordered to the best possibilities. But those possibilities must be seen and acknowledged in love. Those things that you wish to achieve must be acknowledged in love. Love of life. And the understanding that life is simply as it is. And we must love it for being what it is. Without condition. Without condition. And when we love without condition, we will find that the whole thing changes. When we love, those things that come, that seem to be, quote, bad, learn from them. They are the teachings of life. You must always look to yourself and see how it is I am perceiving what is happening to me. When we do it in that manner, we are, in fact, in love with life. I love this or I love that is not appropriate. Because when I love this or that and exclude all other things, I cannot be in love. Love is within me. When I allow it full blossom within my own being, then all that is seen is loved. All that is seen is loved. All that is felt is loved. The uncovering, fear, doubt, insecurity. These things do not allow us to see love, because in these things we become a victim. And victims, it is very difficult for victims to love totally, because the entire focus is on myself. It is on me. It is not on love, it is on the ego. It is on poor me. Poor me does not exist in love. It does not exist in love. It exists only in the shadows and the illusion of the ego. For all is equal. All is equal. We must recognize our own equality and our own responsibility, and in so doing we will recognize love. I am responsible for all events in my life. I am responsible for all of the events upon this earth. I am responsible in concert with those others who inhabit this earth at this time. In absolute responsibility one comes to love. One cannot come to love when there is me and thee. One cannot come to love in this manner. We have divided the world into two when this has happened. It is one world. We are one being. We are one being peering through the eyes of many identities, of many bodies, peering through even the earth, a rock, a flower, a stone, a cat, a dog, a tree. Does not matter. We are, in fact, one being with total love. Love of existence. To know it, one must scrape away the doubt. One must begin to see that you are pretending to be angry. You are pretending to be upset. When you truly see yourself, you know it is there and I am here, and it does not really matter as much as I am pretending that it matters. We do not know love when we hold something, some idea, some structure in more importance than ourselves. We do not know love. We will know possessiveness. We will try and possess that thing. We will try and control that thing, that person, that whatever. This is not the absolute of love. Love is open, in the recognition that all things must travel its path. All things must do what it must do within itself to begin to recognize itself. But that does not give license to being foolish. We think to travel my own path means to have license to do foolishness. Is not so. Because to have license to do foolishness, one cannot be in love. One must learn from those things that we do. Then we are loving ourselves. So it is not license, but to recognize freedom as a part of that thing which we love. It must grow. It must change. To learn to be itself. You have been given many techniques to go beyond that, to look at oneself and know oneself. But like all things, it must be practiced. We must listen, and we must hear what is being said to us. We have a problem in listening. When one thing is said, we automatically assume that its opposite is also true, and that is not the case. It is not the case. When one thing is in the world, its opposite is left in harmony, left in no thing. It is left in nothingness, so its opposite need not necessarily be true. When love is brought forward into the world, hatred and anger are left in harmony, that is, left in the no-thingness of being, left in nothingness, as you would say. It is in fact not existing in the world. When you pay attention to love, hate does not exist. It's not veiled, it just isn't there. Focusing on love is simply that, and then as a byproduct, hatred just does not exist, cannot exist.
Because you can't be both at the same time. You can't be dead and alive at the same second.
Absolutely. So it is to do this. If this is done, that is all that need be done. Love must come into the world. Love must come into your world. As you see things, so it is real for you. It does not mean in all of reality that in the absolute value of truth that it is real. Because we misjudge people all the time by focusing our own nonsense. It is very real for us, but for that person who has been misjudged, it is not real for them because that is not what they did. So in truth, what is being done and what is seen is not in fact the same thing. It may be very real for you, but your reality, that which is real for you, is a lie. So how can it be the central core of being? It cannot be. It cannot be. In order to bring love, to make love a reality within this world, we must focus on love and loving things. When we focus on love, we do not have to worry about the question of how to do anything, how to treat anything, how to treat anyone, how to treat the earth, how to treat the atmosphere, how to treat your fellow man. It is not a question. With love comes justice. With love, the acceptance of love means to accept one's vulnerability. We are all vulnerable. There's no need to be defended, because in being defended, all we do is shut ourselves off from our own feeling. If we shut ourselves off from our own feelings, how then can we love? Is not love a feeling? Of course it is. You cannot shut out one feeling and have other feelings. It cannot be done. The only thing that you will have when you shut off feeling is a bad feeling. And then we focus that on the world, but we feel bad simply because we're not being natural. We're not allowing ourselves to feel. That is what feels bad. It doesn't matter what the feeling is. So when you shut off one, you've shut them all off. We may have trickles here and there, but those trickles are mere shadows of the real. So when one learns to love and to truly love and not be rigid and unnatural to oneself, when we are flowing, we are in love, we understand life. We understand the events of life. We love. It is okay. It is okay. My life is simply what it is. Whether the body feels good or bad, doesn't matter. It is what it is. It is the course of my life, and it will work itself out. It will be okay. It will be fine, because it is fine. I know that in the course of one's life, we live and we die. It is the course of life. We have illness and we have wellness. The body feels good and the body does not feel so good. But it is, in fact, the course of one's life. We live life, knowing the events of life are simply life itself. Because we exist in the mind and not in the feeling. Because we exist in these spaces, we make it worse than it is. We have tremendous highs and tremendous lows because we are in the mind, in the expectation. In true love and in true harmony, it is an evenness. It is an evenness of feeling. It is something you cannot pretend to have, which quite often we do, particularly when we begin to come on this path. You cannot pretend anything. It must be real. It must be real. It is that simple. It is that simple. It must be real, without contamination of the mind. It is simply feeling the joy of living. Even if you are living in pain, there is still a joy in living. And at the same time knowing that it cannot last forever. It is flesh, it is illusion, and all things that come out of harmony, out of no-thingness, into somethingness. There is always a tension that seeks to pull it back unto itself. that is the physical existence. It is not meant to be forever. It constantly strives to go back into harmony with all that is no-thingness. That is why we cannot live in physical flesh forever. It is the law, here's attention, that it must pass. We spend our lives fearing that which is inevitable. And in fearing that which is inevitable, we spend our lives in misery, fearing death. No thing dies. You are, having been created in love, are eternal. You are eternal. The confusion is, I am this, I am the body. No, I am not the body. The body is a part of me, but it is not all that I am. It is not all that I am, and we must know this in order to let go of the body, in order to let go of the fear of death, the fear of dying. Something cannot exist forever. It is not possible. If it were so, your car would never break down. If so, you would never need to repair anything. But that is not the way it goes, because there is a tension constantly pulling.
So deterioration is inevitable.
Deterioration is inevitable. Deterioration of thing, not of what I really am. It can never deteriorate. It has no moving parts. It simply is. I am. I am. That is all. The eternal moment now. I am. If we can touch that moment, we will touch love and great joy within our being. Because what is important, what is really important, is I am eternally. All other things are simply situations to deal with and to learn from. You have great power, wonderful power within you to do whatever it is you desire. But you must learn about this power. We cannot pretend to know of this power. We must learn of this power by acting, by applying certain rules and seeing it working. It will be fine. It will be okay. Whatever I may have or whatever I do not have is merely secondary. I am. I am. And being am loved. Love is. It has always been. Since the first moment, since time, since the great awakening, everything was instantly loved. So love has been forever and will be forever. Love is freedom. It allows you to cast off all things. It allows them to fall away. And it's still okay. The birth of love. The birth of love was not in a fancy place. The manger is a symbol that it is in the lowest place. Quote, lowest place. It is in the simplest place. The love was not born in a palace. The love was born in the simplest place. The story is to show that the love was born even among the animals, not just above, with man. Quote, above, with man. But in the simplest of place. I have said it is all simple. Do not make it complicated. This is the meaning. It is in the simplest place. You cannot find it by being complex. You must find it by being simple. This will seek to destroy love, as with the story of the Christ child. What is the solution, said the doubt, the devil? Kill every child, male child, 2 years old or less. That is a solution of this. How do we destroy it? We kill it. Because we are in control. We are the mind. We are the mind, and we would have love destroyed, because when love is, then I cannot be. When love is, egoism cannot exist. When love is, holding on, grasping cannot exist. It is with open hand. When love is, when the birth of love has occurred, the birth of love that is within my own being, the birth within myself. I've said to you that the story of Adam and Eve is the birth of every child. The birth of love is the birth of love. The story of the birth of love is the birth of love within every individual. Herod will seek to destroy it, but yet it must live. It must live that we live in heaven or in peace. Peace comes with the acceptance of life and the loving of life for what it is to be in joy. We put it off. I will be in joy if this happens. I will be in joy if that happens. I will be in joy if the other happens. Well, don't you realize by now that there's always going to be something happening that you're going to put off loving until you can get rid of this? It is absolutely the reverse. I must love first, and all things will fall away. I say that I am lonely. I am lonely because I have not loved myself. Then I am lonely. When I cannot provide for myself, that feeling. Only when I can look at another and have that other as my trigger mechanism, then I can love. You say, I love you. It is, I love. Period. I love you is a condition. I love. It is to get to know that I love. I use you as a trigger to make me feel good when the responsibility of my feeling well and good is my own. It is my own. I cannot depend upon that. Because the moment that is not there for whatever reason, whether it be gone for good or gone for 15 minutes to the store or gone wherever, I start to say nasty things to myself. Love is not there. Love is not present. Love has not come into this universe. And this is a universe. It contains within it all of existence. Love must come into this universe as a baby. As a baby. Love is defenseless. You do not have to defend it. It is sweet, it is simple. It is pure, it is clean. It is love. As a child, not as an adult with all the adult rationalizations. As a child, simple, uncluttered. It has wide eyes, a tremendous curiosity. It is love. It is simply love. It need be nothing else. If it is not so, then all I can do is spend my time with that which is less than love. With egoism, with foolishness, with the recognition of the great God the Father. Love automatically was. It shows you how basic it is to this universe. The great I am, the cry of I am that existed, was in itself the coming of the God the Father, and instantly loving it, all happened simultaneously. So it is the simplest force that is. The simplest of being. It is not complex at all. It is basic to this universe. Absolutely basic. To make it complex means to further hide it. To act like is to simply cover it up. And you will know if you look that you are acting. And see, that is a part of the honesty of loving oneself. The honesty is, wait a minute, that is not really so. I don't really feel that way, and the only way you can do that is by knowing yourself. Know that you have been pretending. If you will look back as a child when you began to pretend that you felt certain ways, and then you formed the habit of reacting certain ways because you could get what you wanted or you could pretend whatever you wanted. And it's just a pretense. It's just a play. And that play makes us very miserable because the play, the illusion, trying to make the illusion real. 'Tis not real, and all you need do is look at yourself and know that it is not real. Trying to make others like you, trying to satisfy the whole world is an act. You know somewhere deep down inside of yourself, if you just look, you'll know. Doesn't matter. You will know, but we will be miserable because they do not like us or they do not accept us or whatever. You know if you look, you really do not care. If you look, all things will fall into place. I am not where I think I should be. Why can't I look at the sunshine and feel the sunshine on my face and be loved by its warmth? Or feel the coldness of the air against my skin and be loved by the feeling? There's no place to look but to be here now. Be in love now. The minute you get in the touch with the feeling and you begin to think of something that was or something that will be, you lose the love now. You lose the feeling now. You lose it. It's here now. That is enough. What more do you want? If you're here now in it, all things will fall into place and it will be fine. Here now. The absolute simplicity of life. I can hear but. It's just there to sit on. Don't use it any other way. Because that is just an excuse not to do it. It must be now. Celebrate the birth of love. Some in religion, all you hear is praise God. That's lip service. You praise God by being God. You appreciate love by loving. It is that simple. That is the praise due to God. By using it within your own being. That is the praise. It is not a lip service. It is a loving. It is given for your use. Then to not use it is the sin. Be in love. Celebrate love by loving. Enough said. Enjoy. Namaste.